Okay. This next part of the symposium invites you into a space of poetry to witness and experience the power of the arts in bringing about change, in connecting our hearts with our minds to ultimately inform the integrity of our actions. Today, we have two incredible poets joining us who, in their own way, speak truth to power through their creative practice. It's an absolute honor to introduce Latoya Aroha Rule, who will be sharing their poetry with us today. Latoya is a Takatapui, Wiradjuri and Maori Research Fellow and PhD candidate at Jumbunna Institute for Indigenous Education and Research at UTS. Following the 2016 death in custody of their elder brother, Wayne Fella Morrison, Latoya established the national ban Spithoods Coalition, which has thus far seen legislative bans on the torture devices in multiple jurisdictions across Australia. As a researcher, a poet, and an activist, their consistent leadership and creative practice has helped build ways of working outside the state for self-determination and solidarity for all people. Welcome, Latoya.
Thank you. That's so kind. I'm guessing you can hear me okay. And I just also want to take a moment not only to thank NJP, but to acknowledge Gadigal Noora, Gadigal land, and elders here, especially at Jumbunna at UTS, Ani Rhonda, and all the elders' leadership. And also myself and I just want to reiterate my commitment to Gadigal Noora, the resources that I benefit from, the waters and rivers I walk along, and just acknowledge that, yeah, sovereignty has never been ceded, but also myself as a Wiradjuri Māori person on Gadigal land, that I commit to doing better and to being more ethical in my approach to my time here. So thank you, Gadigal Noora and ancestors and elders. Thank you, NJP, and my colleagues just across the hall. And I'm going to open up with two poems. Both do relate, sorry, actually one relates to my brother's death in custody, and the next relates more so to what it's called For the Black Kids. And it relates more to the issue and imagining a future that's free for young people, especially those in custody. The first poem that I'll start with is called Exhibit C273, Pathology Report. And this has been published in a few places now. So, breathing is really important, by the way, to situate us in space. Exhibit C273, Pathology Report. They held his heart in their hands, same gloves used in restraint. They blamed his death on his broken heart, unaccounting that state. Sliced, chopped, dissected, they said diseased atheroma. They said this finding was unexpected in a 29-year-old man. But see, I'm 33 now. And this older than his heart has been crushed by them too. So I plead of you, don't leave it to exhibit, to hold me in your hands and show me love in life. Please don't leave me and other black fellas to their post-mortem knife. Thank you. So that's obviously talking about the time when I received the pathology report into my brother's death in custody. A few weeks, maybe, with NJP's help, and George, I want to acknowledge George Newhouse always, and Karina and the others who supported us through that time. And through reading that report, just considering the fact that I now know the weight of my brother's heart, because the pathologist had to obviously physically consider that in that inquest and in determining his death, and how much of a weird concept that is, that we can reflect on to, yeah, I guess establish the fact that Black Lives Matters, but also these processes need to be ethical ones, and we need to support families through those readings and that can be done in creative ways. So I wrote that around that time. The next poem, considering our amazing, deadly next speaker, I chose this specifically for you. This is called For the Black Kids, and it was a contribution, I think in 2022, 23, to Ace Arts exhibition by Ryan Priestley in Adelaide, and some of his incredible painted works. If you get an opportunity, if you don't know him, please go look him up. But they depict Aboriginal life, particularly for young people. So this is called For the Black Kids. So at the end of the day, when their blades are blunt, when shattered glass ceilings fall to surround them, fall to heaven's gleam to reveal the faces of our beloveds. When the sky is black and night stretches from south to far west coast, when the red dust dances in winds revived, and they, our children, no longer fear their futures, but celebrate their victories. When cells are found only in membranes, encased in tissue and skin that folds with no less than hope, then their weeping in shed, then when weeping is shed only for compassion's sake, and their tears with joy. When the bark is tightly wrapped and no longer gathered to petition, and when the tea tree lakes overflow and healing is their compass. When justice is realized and injustice slain, when the last king falls and the queen is dead, when spit hoods are lifted and Don Dale burned, and every ember sparks the germination of a new path, a new day. Make way to remember them, for they laid down their lives for us. May we enmesh them in gold and bathe them in frankincense, and smoke them with eucalyptus and cloak them in etched possum skin, and may we crown them with the finest ochres. Yes, we will see them face to face, and our memories will no longer be held alone, but held in them. And as they walk beyond us, may they carry our names with gladness, remembering that we were grateful and thankful and did everything in our path to prepare their way to promised land, to holy land,
and
to
also
their full inheritance.
This one has to go inside. You're
their
welcome
full
to
land.
if you would.
Remember them. For when they laid down beside them, we laid beside them on that land to rest in their shared victory. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Latoya. Just letting those incredible words land. Thank you so much for your generosity in sharing with us your deep wisdom and spirit and insight through your art. It's truly moving to hear you speak, and I have no doubt that that has landed deeply in everyone who is here today in their hearts. And also just a reminder of the incredible power that words have in speaking these new worlds into being, in these futures that are enmeshed in gold and ochre and spirit. And my deepest, deepest thanks on behalf of everyone here. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. It's great to see so many people in this room right now too.
Our next artist, Mabel Peisley, was named the winner of the Alternative First Responders Art Competition with her poem, Courage is the Child's Eyes. We received a number of entries and the quality across the board was exceptional. However, Mabel's work stood out for its depth, creative excellence, and her courageous voice. It left a lasting impression on our judges, and it's a true privilege to introduce Mabel, who will be sharing her poem and telling us a little bit about herself as well. Thank you so much, Mabel.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mabel Peisley, or as my ancestors know me, Pumpundi. I'm 15 years old and I am a descendant of the Ngarrindjeri Boondik people. I want to begin by acknowledging the elders of the Kaurna people on whose land I stand on today. I honour their strength, courage, and ongoing resistance on these lands. I also acknowledge my ancestors. My ancestors and the strong warrior women who have come before me through both my mother's bloodlines and my father's. Both my parents have been to prison, and my dad is still inside. Growing up as an Aboriginal kid in so-called Australia, I always knew the dangers of the police. From a young age, I saw how they harassed and followed our dads and uncles around, how they arrested our family and community, and how they killed. The poem I'm about to read is about the moment my dad was arrested in front of me when I was just 4 years old while I was playing at my nana's house. That moment has never left me. The sound of the police, the sight of my dad being dragged away, and the fear that stayed in my body. Since then, my parents' imprisonment has shaped the way I see the world. I've never seen the police as safe. I see them as violent. And like my mum says, they're death squads. For me, safety comes from my family, my friends, and my community. The people who hold and protect each other when things are hard. My Auntie Debbie Kilroy says, only we keep us safe. Not the police, not social workers or teachers or mental health workers. My community is my family, my friends, Mobbit sisters inside in the national network, and the people in the Aboriginal community who love and care for us kids. Only we can hold each other and keep each other safe. Courage is the child's eyes. 4 years old, sitting cross-legged on Nan's lino floor, watching the blue wave crash through the door. White hands on black arms. Dad bent, restrained, cuffed, dragged. His body swallowed by their cage. They call themselves safety, but tell me, who do I call when the world splits open in front of me? When I'm frightened? When my friend is shaking and my cousin is crying through the night? Not them, never them. We keep ourselves safe, with Nan's arms, with Auntie's laughter, with uncles watching the street, with neighbours who show up and friends who never turn away, with communities that care, that feed each other, hold each other.
All right, we'll check it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Courage is not a badge, a baton, or a gun. It's the steady pulse in the chest of a child who dreams of a world where safety is soft, where justice looks like love, and where communities that care are stronger than their cages. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mabel.
You.
I'll just let those words land with everyone. Thank you so much for your powerful and moving words, and for showing up in this space with so much courage, and for sharing with us your vision for a world where safety is soft and justice looks like love. I know those words will definitely stay with me.
Yeah.
And as we move into this next break, there's space to reflect on the words you've heard this morning and the beautiful poetry you've heard just now, how they feel in your body and heart, and how they remind us of the role that art has to play in bringing us together and fostering empathy, and in helping us shape responses that prioritize care and compassion. There's another small reminder that there are colouring sheets available for anyone who is feeling creative and inspired over this next break. It is now 1:05. We'll be returning at 2 p.m. So there's a 55-minute break for lunch, and we'll be joined by an afternoon of advocates from across the nation. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mabel.